and telling them you're wrong, this is not the way, and I'll tell you what to do, I know better than you. So one of the biggest rabbis once said that the main component of educating good children is 50% prayers, so that you need help from heaven that you will be able to guide the kids the right way, to raise them the right way, and 50% harmony, shalom bayit, between husband and wife. It's already, if you have 50% shalom bayit, 50% prayers, it's already, it's a very good foundation to raise good families. There was this psychologist that said that nowadays a lot of teenagers are sent by parents to his office because of disrespect, because of wild behavior, because of chutzpah, because of stuff like that. And when these teenagers are talked to him, okay, they tell him, first ask our parents how they communicate with each other. If you hear how they communicate with each other, you won't come and complain why we behave this way. It's our generation already, this is how they talk already. So this respect of children to people around them is a reflection of whatever is happening in the house sometimes. And if the parents continue arguing next to the children all the time, the children will learn very, very fast how to instigate the parents against one another. So this is something you have to take into consideration. It says in Sefer Vayikra, beginning of Sefer Parashat Emor, it says Emor el HaKohanim, and Rashi says להזהיר גדולים על קטנים. They teach here that the word להזהיר, להזהיר in Hebrew is to warn the children, warn the kids, warn the older, warn the smaller. But in Hebrew, להזהיר is from the word zohar. Zohar means glory. Zohar means to shine. Okay? They say that the obligation of the parents are to shine, to show the glory of the mitzvot to the children, so that the kids will learn how to do the mitzvot in a happy way. It's very important. If you want to continue kids to do mitzvot, you have to show that you're happy yourself with the mitzvot. If you're not happy yourself with the mitzvot, what are you going to show them? So, it's a famous story that probably you heard. Moshe Feinstein wrote it in his book, Grot Moshe. He writes there that in the beginning of the 20th century, about 100 years ago, was very, very hard, if you go to the office, was very, very hard for people to keep Shabbat. Why? Because all the companies wanted people to work by them 24/7. And so people would start, their job. The whole week they would work. Once it comes Shabbat, they didn't want to work and they would be absent. And the next week, they would tell them, you can go on and look for another job because we need people that work here also on Shabbat. It was very, very hard to a lot of people. It was a big, big test for a lot of people. What to do? They wanted to keep Shabbat. They came all the way from Europe. They came all the way from all the other places. And they wanted to keep Shabbat, but it was hard. So he says that some families were able to keep Shabbat and their children to keep Shabbat afterwards. Some families, though, could not inherit this mitzvah to their children. Why? Because the father, when he comes home, he comes to his wife with his sad face. He says, again, I was fired from work. What should I do? It's so hard to be Jewish. It's so hard to be religious people. What should I do? Where should I find another job? He tries another one. And he keeps being sad all the time because it's very hard to work the whole week and then to be thrown and to find another job that, you can work only for another week and that's it. But there were families that were working the same and fired after being absent on Shabbat. But when they came home, they didn't come with sadness in their face. They came home and they say, We were able to keep Shabbat. Baruch Hashem, they cannot break us. Let's dance that we're doing the mitzvah of Hashem. And when the children got this kind of a message, of course they continued, because keeping mitzvot wasn't so hard for them. Okay? It says that about being happy. Be happy, not because everything is good, some of those quotes, not because everything is good, but because you can find good in everything. Happiness is a journey, not only a destination. Some people say, oh, when I'm going to get a bigger house, I'm going to be happy. Whenever I'm going to have all my kids, married, and then I'm going to be happy. Okay? So the way, not only the end. And life is 100% of what happens to you, but 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. Many times you're in a situation, you can exaggerate and make a whole big deal, and it depends on you, okay, how you react to it. So whenever, let's say, when we speak about making things in besimcha, with happiness, let's say you want your children to visit their grandma, okay, you take her there and you tell her, Savta was so happy, your grandma was so happy when she saw you. You made her day. She's so happy. Look at her. She came out. Next time she'll make more cookies and more stuff and everything. And then, or you want her to give tzedakah, to learn how to give tzedakah. So you tell her, I see that your tzedakah box is already full. Let's give it to Hatzalah. You know what Hatzalah can do with this tzedakah money? It can help him this, and it can help him that, this organization, and every coin, it's like your name is engraved on this coin. In heaven, they count your names so many times over there. You give us such a good feeling about doing the mitzvah that she's like, wow, I didn't know that it's so important that I do this mitzvah. So whenever parents are happy with whatever they have, whenever they say sentences like, Baruch Hashem, we have everything, whatever we need, Gamzulu Tava, everything is for the best. Whenever kids, they have these kind of sentences all the time, they're much, they have full satisfaction about life. They're much more calm at life. What happens to people that complain all the time? There was this, in the Gemara, they give this example of Harav Mani that was married to a certain family, and they were very, very rich, this family. So, but they made him a lot of problems. And he went to his rabbi and he asked, Rabbi, can you please pray that they won't have so much money because they're looking at me too much high at me, and they're making me all kind of problems. He went and he prayed, and after a while, this Rav Mani comes and tells him, I made the wrong thing, it's not right, please pray that they will get back the money. What happened? No, that now they want me to provide for them, to support them, because they cannot do. Or then some other times happened when his wife wasn't so beautiful, and he asked, please, can you make my wife more beautiful? He made her beautiful. She didn't look at him even. He wasn't important for her anymore. So he asked to revise, to change back this. But sometimes we have this hashgacha pratit. You see how Hashem loves you so much by certain things that happen, and every day there's new stories about hashgacha pratit. That's a beautiful thing, and then I want to finish with that. There was this example that I read today, a school in Israel that decided to make a trip to the north of Israel. There's a lot of rabbis' graves over there, right? So they want to make a trip over there, and they go all the way, and as they get to one of the little villages, a whole big truck turned upside down, and they couldn't continue. The roads are very narrow. They couldn't continue the way. They had to go back and to go through another.